Hello pupils, in front of you is Madam Makarinda. I'm here so that we discuss again the subject mathematics class 3, the same topic of fractions, where today we are going to discuss on comparing fractions. Now, introduction, let us know the meaning of comparing fractions. When we are talking of comparing fractions, we do mean that we are checking which fraction is greater than the other or bigger than the other. And again, we are checking which fraction is less than the other, or if the fractions are exactly the same. So comparing fractions means checking which fraction is greater than the other or less than the other or exactly the same. Comparing fractions means telling which fraction is greater than, less than, or exactly the same. So in comparing fractions, we are telling or we are checking whether the fraction is greater than the other, or it is less, or sometimes exactly the same with the other fraction. Now, as we know, in the case of fractions, we are talking in the case of numerator and the denominator. Remember last time we were discussing on what is the numerator and what is the denominator, where we said the numerator is the upper number of the fraction and the denominator is the lower number of the fraction. Now, as we are talking of this one, in the case of comparing, we shall be checking the numerator and the denominator, where the numerator will be telling us the number that we are considering, and the denominator will be telling us the total number of the fraction, or the whole number of the fraction that we are talking about. So, the numerator here, the numerator will tell us the fraction to be considered, or the fraction in consideration, and the denominator will tell us the total number of the fraction or the whole part. Whole part or whole fraction. Now, in comparing, we are using three signs that are normally known in mathematics. We have the sign of greater than, we have the sign of less than, and the sign of equal. And when you are talking of this one, you can keep in mind that when you are talking of the sign of greater than or bigger than, you can use your right hand side. You just do like this. Then when you are talking of this one, the number, any number that you write on your right side to represent the greater number. And the opposite of this one will represent the number which is smaller than the other. And the last one is the equal sign. Let me write a bit on these signs So you can consider this one so that you know the signs that we are using in mathematics. Consider the sign signs. In short, we are saying we have this sign here, which is presenting the greater than. Then that's why I've said when we are talking of greater than, it is your right hand side. Then we have this sign here, which is standing for less than. And the other one is the equal sign. Equal sign. So we have the greater than sign, less than sign, and equal sign. So here we are going to have an example of how we are going to compare the fraction. An example for comparing the fractions. We have different strategies. Strategies of comparing we have different strategies of comparing the fractions, where we are going to start with the first strategy, the strategy that we are using the real models or the diagrams, the figures. So we are using different figures to compare a certain fraction and another fraction. Here we have strategy 1. Or the first strategy. When we are using figures, or sometimes we are saying models. Example, compare, let's say Roman 1, we have compare 1/2 and maybe let's say we have 2/3. So we are comparing the two fractions. The first one is 1/2 and the second one is 2/3. As we have said, when we are comparing, we have to check which fraction is greater than the other, or which fraction is smaller than the other, or if the fractions are exactly the same. Now, for this case here, as we have said, the first strategy we are going to use models or figures. So we can choose any kind of model, any kind of figure which has the same size, and we are going to shade the fraction 1/2 and the fraction 2/3, and then we are going to compare them if they are the same or not the same. So here we can have this one. Keep in mind when you are drawing, you have to draw the diagram of the same size. Now, coming with the first fraction 1/2, we can divide this one into 2 equal parts. Then, because it is 1/2, it means that one part is shaded. So we are going to shade one part here, and this is what we call 1/2, or 1 out of 2. And then the last fraction is 2/3. So you have to divide this one into equal parts, 3 equal parts, where the 2 parts will be shaded. This one here, this is what we call 2/3, or 2 out of 3. Now, Considering the first part and the second part here, you can just take through observing this one. You have 1/2, where we have one part is shaded, and 2/3, just 2 parts are shaded. So the biggest one, or the greater fraction, is 2/3. So in short here, we can confirm that, we can conclude that 2/3 is greater than 1/2. So 2/3 is greater than 1/2. Now, instead of writing this one in words, you can write by using the signs. That's why we have discussed this one here. Instead of using this, the word greater or the word bigger, we can use the sign. So this can also be written as 2/3 is greater than 1/2. And here the game is over. Then going to the second example. Second example. Example number 2. Compare (1/4) and 3/4. So again, we are using the diagrams as we have two fractions. We are comparing a quarter and 3/4. 1/4, which we call it a quarter, and 3/4, which is 3/4 or 3/4. So here we shall have, as we have said, we are using figures. You can have this figure here. Keep in mind, when you are drawing, you should have the figures of the same size. So we have two figures, the rectangles here. So 1/4, this one should be divided into 4 equal parts, and one part is shaded. So here we are going to shade like this. This is what we call 1/4, or 1/4. And again, the second one, we are going to divide it into 4 equal parts. But keep in mind that we are going to show 3/4. So 3/4, 3 parts will be shaded. So you shade like this, and this is what we call 3/4. Now, through observation, when you're observing the first diagram and the second diagram, here you can see that 3/4 is greater than 1/4. So it is just simple like that. Here you can say, therefore, 3/4 is greater than 1/4. Or mathematically, we can write this one as 3/4. We have said the sign of greater is we are using our right hand. So here it will be this one here, 1/4. But again, you can write this one in opposite. If we want to talk of less than, we want to use the sign of less, it means the numbers will interchange. Instead of writing 3/4 is greater, you will start with 1/4 is less than 3/4. So the sign here will change. 1/4 will come this way, the sign will change, and the 3/4 will be on this way. So this is how we are comparing by using, the fractions by using figures or models. And from there we have the second strategy, where we are saying in the second strategy we are using the observation method. How are we doing the observation method? To observe means just to check. You check, then you give the answer. And we are using this observation method for the fractions which are having the same denominators. So we are using observation method when you have the fractions with the same denominators. Let us see it. So we are going to check the second strategy. The second strategy, which is the simplest one, you just check, you observe what you have given, then you give the answer. The second, that was strategy 1, so we have strategy 2. Observation. Observation method. But now keep in mind, you have said when we are observing, we can just observe the fractions with the same denominators. So we can have an example. Example 1. Here we have compare. Maybe 2 over 5 and 3 over 5. As I have said, in observation, we are using the fractions with the same denominators. Here you can see we have 2 over 5 and 3 over 5. They are sharing the same denominators. The denominator is number 5. The bottom number is number 5. Now for this case of observing, you just see, if you have given the fraction with the same denominator, you just deal with the numerator. You check the numerator, the fraction with bigger numerator is the bigger fraction. So here, you just check, you have 2 over 5, and we are comparing it with 3 over 5. So just keep this one because they are sharing common denominator. You just check the numerator. The numerator for this one is number 3, and the numerator for the first fraction is number 2. Then you ask yourself, between number 2 and number 3, which one is bigger? Here, when you are comparing, number 3 is bigger than number 2. So if number 3 is bigger than number 2, automatically the fractions, the fraction which is containing 3, it is the bigger fraction than the other. So here we shall say that 3 over 5 is greater than 2 over 5. You'll be asking why? Because they are sharing common denominator, and the one that you have said it is bigger, its numerator is bigger than the other. So here you can write this mathematically is 2 over 5 greater than 3 over 5 is greater than 2 over 5. Just simple like that. So the case of observation method, we are using this method when the fractions are having the same denominators. Now from there, let us have the exercise, just a short exercise. Try to do these questions in your exercise book. Then give them to your parents so that they bring here to school for marking. Here we have the exercise. Try to do this one, just a short exercise. And here I'm going to ask you which fraction is greater? Is greater than the other. Question number 1, 2 over 6 or 5 over 6. So you shall use any method, either the method of drawing, the method of models, or the method of observing, where you are checking the denominators, they are the same. Then you use any method between the two that we have discussed today. Then the second example, 1 over 10 or 3 over 5. We have number 3. Number 3, we have, let's say it is 4 over 6 or 3 over 6. Then number 4, 8 over 20 or 12 over 16. Number 5, 1 over 3 or 3 over 3. Which one is bigger? Number 6, 1 over 2 or 2 over 4. You tell me which one is bigger than the other. From question number 6, you have, let's say, which fraction is smaller? So we have from number 6, you have number 7, and you are comparing 3 over maybe 7 or 5 over 7. Which one is small? Here we have already the question mark in the question, so we shall have the question this way. Number 8, 5 over 12 or 9 over 12. Use observation method. Number 9, say you have 1 over 4 or 3 over 4. And number 10, 5 over 7 or 1 over 7. Just 10 questions. Then from here, you should keep in mind that on the coming lesson, we shall have the simplest strategy in comparing the fractions. I will give you the simplest one, the one that you use in solving your questions, which is called the cross multiplying method. So this is the end of our lesson. And I'm just reminding you to take care of yourself because of the ongoing situation. As you know, we still have this problem of COVID-19. So take care of yourself, your parents, and your neighbors. Thank you.